Okay, you guys, Jimmy here, Keller Williams Realty Southwest. We are going to go over comps. And the house that we're going to, and I've done nothing here, so this is going to be kind of curious if this works. The house that we're looking for is 932 Hammer. So the first thing I'm going to do is see if there's any information from 932 Hammer. And there isn't. See how it says 0 matches down there? Okay. So where do we go next? The next place we go to is the Clark County Assessor. Where's our Clark County Assessor? There she is. And then we're going to do, I'll just go to most popular. We're going to do property tax. It's the property search. That's not it. Sorry. Let me go back. Actually, watch this. When I say, see how I wrote Clark County Assessor? We want property record search. So I'm just going to click on property record search. There we go. And we don't know the parcel number. We do know the owner's name, but in case, we're just going to go straight to the address. So do you guys remember what the address is? How about 923?
932.
Like I said, 932. Glad you remembered.
East.
Hammer. I'm not going to put Easter in there because remember, it just says street name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could put East over here, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then I'm going to hit submit. There it is, 932 East Hammer Lane. So let's click on this link. And let's see what tells us about this house.
Yep.
We're going to slide down. We're going to slide down. The most important thing are these numbers down here. We want to find out the size. So it's 1375 on the first floor. Second floor is 1704. Question, do we include the garage? No, it's not livable space. So when you look at square footage on a house in the MLS, it's only livable space. Something to consider. So we're going to add 1375 and 17, and that comes up as 3,079. Guess what? This is a baller's house. We love it, 3079. Okay, now let's go back to the MLS for a second. And we didn't find anything at 932 Hammer. Oh, by the way, I made a big mistake before I did this whole thing. I don't know if you noticed, but I only checked active and under contract. One way to do it is I can just select all of them. Ding, 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 ding. That's one way to do it. Whoa, look, 2 showed up. So there's our answer. So let's go look at the 2 that showed up. And then I'm going to click search. All right, so, oh, look at that, 3079, we got that part right. All right, so I'm going to look at the most recent. See, these are history status, so this is really old stuff. This is back in 2013. But it's going to tell us a little bit of information about the house. So let's see if we can find the most recent. I guess this is the most recent. So we'll just click on it, see. And we're looking for things about the house that make it stand out. Number 1, size. It is a 2-story, so we're going to write 2-story. Remember, we're pulling comps, so we want to find similar comps. It's got a 3-car garage. Okay. Now remember, this is back in 2014. There's no pool back then. Is there a pool now? Do we know? I'm going to guess no pool. So no pool, no spa. That'll count us for a little bit.
Yeah, she bought it. That's the house, right? Yeah,
Yeah, and let's look at the pictures and see if anything stands out. There it is. Nice design. Anything stand out to you guys? Tile floor. I'm just going to keep a mental note on that, okay? We wanted to take a mental note of the condition. We're looking for upgrades that they might have done. The kitchen looks nice. It's got, is that stainless? I can't even tell. It looks like stainless steel. It's got granite countertop, right? So those are all good things. These pictures, by the way, are hideous. So please, if you ever have a listing, don't use pictures like this. They're using a flash. Never use a flash inside. And just hire a professional photographer. I mean, you can't tell anything on this. And then the other thing I'm going to look at is the backyard. Let's just look at this down here. Let's look at all the pictures. Let's find the backyard, see if anything else stands out. It looks to me like a dirt lot. Yeah, okay, a little dog pin there. But nothing done in the back, okay? So, what do we know? We know the subdivision name. I'm going to highlight the subdivision name. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the whole thing. Now notice it says Unit 3. When we pull the comps, a lot of times they'll divide a subdivision into multiple things. So really all we're concerned about is Bruce and Hammer, okay? So let's create a new search and what are we going to find? Number one, let's put the subdivision in right there. All right. And what do I don't really care about, I'll leave under contracts in there. I'll put coming soon just in case, but I'm really interested in the solds. Now, do you see how it still says, well, it says 2, but it put a space in there. Just to be safe, I'm going to get rid of that space and see if anything changes. But still, only 2 matches, and I haven't even got into whether it's 2-story or 1-story or anything. So let's get rid of the unit 3. We're just going to look at the Bruce and Hammer. All right. Now see, we've gone up to 11, so this is good, okay? Let's see what happens just for fun. Now remember, we're just looking in the subdivision right now. Let's see what happens if I say 2-story. Does that change at all? That gets rid of the 2 single stories. In this case, I would get rid of the 2 single stories because they're not really going to count. And last but not least, let's go to approximate total living area. Remember, it was 3079, so our rule of thumb is 200 square feet on either side, but I'm going to actually, or it's like 10%. So what's 10% of 3,300? So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. I'm going to go 300 square feet on either side. So remember our number was 3079, so I'm going to go 2739 all the way up to 3379. Okay, that number you're going to move around a little bit, so just kind of understand that. We've got 5 matches right now there, so let's look at the results on the 5 matches and see what we've got. Oh, they're all solds. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, remember appraisers, we have to think like an appraiser, so I want the most recent sales. So I'm going to click on actual close date, click it on the top and make sure, oops, it was already set up, that the most recent sales are there. And look at that, 2 sales on the exact same day. That doesn't happen often. All right. Oh my God. Every house is a model match. It never works out this nice. Never. But we are so lucky. This is great. So none of them have pools. None of them have spas. All of them are 3-car garage. 30. This is, okay. Well, my job just got really easy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at the price range. Isn't that amazing? Between 330 and 335. So what are we going to list this house at? I would say no less than 335. Why? Maybe even as high as 340 with the idea that it might go down 335, maybe 336, maybe 338, 888 because Asian lovers or feng shui people love 8s. Something higher. We're going to end up somewhere between 330 and 335 on this one, you guys. And that's all going to be based on condition. We can just take a quick peek at that one. God, the pictures are so much nicer if nothing else.
Is this the first one?
This is the first one on the list. This is the most recent sale. So it's got the nice hardwood floors. I don't know about those curtains, but that doesn't mean anything. Let's look at the kitchen. Yeah, right? Would you say the kitchen looks the same or is better? It's going to be similar. Remember that one sold for, oh, let's check one thing. I made a mistake. This was list price. Here's the sale price on it.
What's it, Sunbone? Oh, Baron.
So 330, 335, 335, 331, 332. So again, it's going to be between 330 and 335. One other thing we could look at, just to be safe, is when we look at the listings, let me show you something interesting. Let's slide down. Now remember, these are all solds, okay? So we have the sold data on it. If we look down at the bottom, let's look at the sold information. So this tells me it was an FHA. There was no seller's contribution, okay? That's important. So that's what we would expect. Let's go to the next one. I'm just going to click the next button down there. This is 5529 Sunbroom. Again, conventional, no seller thing. All right. So far it's worked out well. This one, FHA, they gave them $1,800. So even though it's sold for $335, it's sold for $333,800, right? Does that make sense? Because we're subtracting $333,200. Let's go to the next one, and remember these are a little bit farther. This one sold for $331, but they gave $2,300. So really, that's kind of a net of $329. I'm still going to say our numbers will stay the same as being, and let's just check the pictures out of it, is going to be between 330, 335 at the best. That's a beautiful floor. Oh my gosh, look at that. So if this one sold at 332, I would kind of tell my clients that we'll be lucky to get 335. I would expect them to get 330. But we might list it something higher than 335 to try and get that 330 number. We'll go back to the results of that we saw. And there's your comps for this unit. Hope that's helpful.